over the last few weeks, I have not really been updating much. Um, we were doing a bunch of little things around the house, and nothing really noteworthy was going on. So haven't been updating. But I thought I share some things that we've been doing. Um, some involve the pond, some not so much about the pond, more like the backdrop. Um, the main pond, I stopped feeding since the night before yesterday, and surprisingly, it's starting to foam up, which is kind of odd. Um, but the pond is getting clearer because we can see the fish down there now. Uh, Over the last few weeks, I've been feeding them a tremendous amount of money. So I mean, not money, but food. So I thought I give them a day or two of break just to let the system calm down and digest everything before I start going again. Next week we're gonna start to warm up a little bit, and so feeding will continue at a high rate, just to push out the last month of growth or so before it starts to get cold. There have been some noticeable growth over the last month. Um, some of the fish have gotten thicker and fuller. Probably difficult to see here in the video, but in person, since I've been tracking them, I noticed that they have been getting bigger. The back area here, we decided to build up this side. It used to be an area where the water comes down, but now because we're growing stuff back here and we don't want water going down into the pond, we put flagstones up right here, a couple of layers. Some of the plants we move over from the other side to here. Those holes that I core and drill out became like little spots to plant. So yeah, a lot of these things will just move over from the other side, which I'll get to later. We moved them over here. Uh, Started planting some. This is a June plum. June plum is like a spicy. I'm sorry, not spicy. A very sour fruit. It's I don't. I think the name. I might not be saying this right, but amberella or something like that. It's a cool tree because you can eat the fruit and the young leaves right here. You can eat it like a little garnish. I drill a lot more holes than what I'll use for planting because some of them will be for drainage, like this one here, here, here. Some of these will be planted with random things. Yeah, so on this corner, I'm trying to avoid having trees that would drop leaves into the pond. So some of these were recommended to my wife to plant instead of putting something like that right there. That's actually well, this is a red bud tree. She's trying to train it to give it some features into the pond, but personally I don't like it because I know the leaves are going to fall into the pond, which creates more of a problem. On this side, we have a very cool Japanese maple. It's a green color Japanese maple. I had to core out a lot of holes just to make it fit because the root ball was huge. But when I took it home for a few days, it was somewhat neglected with watering, and I thought it was enough, but it wasn't. So we ended up with a lot of like dead leaves, but I think the new ones, I mean, some of the green leaves are still here, so it's not dying. I'm gonna try to get over here and see. What we're doing now is actually putting all the weeds and all the dead leaves in our yard in this area. So here we're gonna try to put all the dead leaves and weeds and unwanted plants that we cut out all along here to act as compost. Once I have a layer down here, what I'll do is I'll buy some additional compost and topsoil and put on top of it. This is my cherry moya plant. It's already grafted, and this will be my main fruit tree in this corner. I'm gonna let it get quite big and tall and cover this area, but it's gonna take up a lot of space, and so I'm gonna dedicate that spot to it. Notice how I put a little drain pipe down there, a 4-inch pipe. I'm gonna let some fish poop get in there eventually so that it can keep it nice and healthy and nourished. Well, this decking has not been completed yet because I still need to find some more of this ipe lumber. Okay, so that's it for this side. Excuse me. Now remember, we had a baby swimming pool, like a above ground swimming pool. I took that out. I got rid of all the water and took out all the babies that hatched and growing, and I'm going to show you how they look right now. I selected we move another Japanese maple from the front to this side right here. This actually looks really cool. This tree, it looks really nice. It's just that it was really stunted in the pot and was kind of neglected. But here we put new soil, put it out. It's starting to look real good. I think it's starting to green up right there. Okay, so on this side, I'm gonna show you guys the fish that I took out. Now, there were probably thousands of them, but these were the ones that survived and also somewhat less deformed than the other ones. And this is what I got so far. It's not a lot. I think probably like 100 fish. But if you notice the size difference between some of them, I can see that probably the big ones were eating the little ones. Even in this cage, some of the little ones got eaten because I can see the carcass that came out, which is kind of gruesome. But if you look carefully, you can see some of the poop is actually the carcass of small koi, which is surprising because I give them a lot of food here. So knowing that, I think I'm gonna have to let some of the big ones come out into the pond. So when I took down the small swimming pool, I started selecting the fish, and a number of them had a lot of deformities and things I didn't want, like crooked tails or extra growth on the gills and so on. But these were the ones that sort of made the cut, and I wasn't very particular or strict with my selection, so anything that didn't have deformity was put in here just to kind of see how they grow. The size difference is absolutely tremendous. I mean, look at some of the bigger ones. Some of the bigger ones looks like, in terms of mass, they're like 100 if not more bigger than some of the smallest ones. So you know those guys are probably eating some of the siblings, which is kind of scary if you think about it. But it is what it is, and that's how they got so big. Look at that one in particular. It's huge. But I'm really surprised by the body line of these fish. They all look pretty decent. They look long. The body line looks really good for some of these fish, and some of them actually have some really interesting qualities to them as well. And that's why I'm keeping them here, just to grow them out, see how they look next year, just for fun. Obviously next year is when I think I should be able to do some more serious spawning with the fish that I want. Remember, these were just, I got these eggs, just for free from a friend. So whatever these fish came out, it was just all random. But even in the randomness, because his fish quality was very high, the spawn, the babies actually look very decent. I mean, here there's probably a handful or a dozen that you can select and sell them to a dealer, or what a dealer would sell. So that's not bad at all. Yeah, we're gonna be keeping an eye on these guys to see how they grow. Yeah, but for example, that big one, I mean, the body shape, to me it looks just like it can come from Japan. Okay, so that's it for the little baby fish, and that's what's going on with this this particular cage. Now this pond here, I acquired this Showa, and I'm still rehabilitating it. It has some skin condition, but it's starting to look really good. She's about 26-inch Sekiguchi Showa. The skin is healing up. It looks like there's some redness to it, but that's far better than when I first got it. And the treatment was not too complicated. I just put her to sleep, wash it with some salt, antifungal spray, hydrogen peroxide, and potassium permanganate for PP, and that's how I was able to get her to heal a little better. She's swimming now, happy. So once she's fully healed and everything's good, I'm gonna throw her into the big pond and let her grow out. And on our side here, we're cutting back some of the elephant ears here, just to make space. I think we're gonna redo a lot of this eventually as well. Yeah, but in terms of the two ponds, that's what's going on. I've been letting go of some of the fish now here and there, but it's still getting crowded as they get bigger. And some of the baby kohaku that I got from the koi show is starting to show some good signs. There's like 2, 3 that have, I want to say maybe 2 have completely lost their color, like that one. It doesn't even look like a kohaku anymore. But the vast majority of them have maintained their color and are growing. Some of them are showing signs of really good like color stretching, so that once it gets old, the color is gonna hold and stay consolidated. Like for example, that one down there, the red is looking really good, and it's getting big, but there's no breaking in the red, so I'm really happy with that fish. We have a handful of those fish here that look really good with high potential, so we'll be keeping an eye on them. I gotta feed them more. I also let them take a break in this pond for about a day and a half, but I think I'm gonna start feeding today again, just so that they can maximize their growth as we get into the cold season. So far, no major health-related issues in either pond. A week ago, we had some water drop down from here, and I thought there was a leakage, but it turns out this filter area, the metallum mats were clogged a little bit because of the buildup. So once I washed that, water came down and it wasn't coming outside of this area, because the clogging of the mats caused the water to rise and it was coming off the side, so I was constantly losing water. But since I cleared that up, everything just drains now, so we don't have any issue. The water line has remained stable. Makes me feel a lot better, because liner leakage is one of the most horrible things I don't ever want to experience. So that is a brief update. I'm gonna include a little snippet of some of the baby fish that came out, and I selected them like a week ago before I put them in this cage. They actually grew in this cage, surprisingly, because there's always food present. So they're constantly just eating, hanging out, and the water quality here is far better than when it was in that small swimming pool. I hope that the big fish don't start eating more small fish. But if we start to see fewer and fewer fish, like right here, there's definitely fewer fish than when I put it in. That means the big ones are eating the small ones. All right, so that's it for an update. Not much more going on. Pretty standard stuff. Let's get a view of the fish. Everyone's growing, everyone's pretty happy. Yeah, I can't wait for the kohaku to get bigger. I really, I've seen a little bit too many korashi in the pond, so I think I need more color. That's why I got that Showa. That Showa is really nice, actually. The pattern's great. And now that she's healed, she's much happier swimming around. Yeah, so this is probably gonna be the last month before we start getting chilly weather. I know once we start hitting Thanksgiving, which is about 2 months away, so actually it's not too bad. For me, I noticed that in the last 2 years, once Thanksgiving comes around, I really can't be feeding anymore, like extensively, probably once a day, twice a day at the. Okay, check this out. I caught some fish from the swimming pool where all the hatchlings were growing up, and this is just a random netting of the fish that were down there. I don't know how many there are still left in there. There's probably a bunch of them. It's extremely green, so I can't really see them. So I took them out here to take a look at the fish up close. And this is a sample of a couple of catches from the net to see what we got. And to be honest, there's a lot of random stuff here. A lot of them I don't even know how to. I mean, I'm not even familiar with fish this size to really identify them. So we're just gonna take a look at them and see what we got, because it's quite interesting. All right, let me rotate over here so I can get a little closer look. Okay, so we have a kohaku. Pattern's not good. This is a really big fish though compared to the rest of them. Check out this fish. It's got a pretty strong body though, but the pattern's not that great because the reds in the front and the red patches in the back aren't visible. And then we got, surprisingly, we got a bunch of ginrin fish, which to me are more interesting. So for example, we got this fish right here. This looks like a ginrin, potentially ginrin ochiba or sorogoi. The ginrin is decent. It's actually all over the body, from the top, from the back all the way to the belly, which is nice. So that's surprising. We got a yellow koi right here. This is almost like a yellow kohaku. It's got a little bit of a metallic tint on the mouth or the head. That one also has a strong body. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Here's a fish that is pretty big, but I think there's something wrong with it. I think the head is kind of deformed. If you look at it, it's got like the mouth and the jaw is like super big, but not in the way that you want. I think, let me see if we can see from the bottom. It looks a little bit deformed. It's just super big. The head doesn't look right. It doesn't have that triangular shape. We got a few chow woi here too. So here's a chow woi right here. It's a green fish. That actually looks okay to me. And then we have a ginrin chow woi, or a midori, a ginrin green fish. This one's super cool looking. I'm gonna grow this one out. Look at this fish. Look at that. It's cool, huh? This is kind of what's fun about breeding koi is you get variety that are super random, because that's all it is. It's just genetic randomness. We have a beniwoi, a ginrin beniwoi, semi-ginrin, and then we got some. Look at this one. This is it's kind of like a bad quality showa. It's got yellow. It's got a little bit of, I don't know if that's green or grayish, but yeah, look, it's got 3 different colors. I mean, body-wise, I don't see anything wrong with it. So it might be interesting to see how it grows out. And we have an ochiba right here. Look at this one. Not good pattern, but definitely got that Ochiba color scheme. What's surprising is there's not that many black fish in this sample, even though typically when you spawn a lot of fish, you get a lot of black ones or dark ones. But here we got a lot of light colored fish, which is kind of a good sign. That looks like a kohaku that the red hasn't developed yet. And then we got some, I don't know if these are gonna, excuse me. I don't know if these are gonna turn out to be kiwoi or benigoi. This looks like a kohaku right here. It looks like a two-step kohaku, this one. It's got the separation from the, in the middle right there. That looks like a decent looking two-step kohaku. Still pretty tiny. Oh, this one's cool too. Check this one out. This one right here definitely looks like a Ginrin Showa. It's got that white, black, and yellow, or well, maybe this is one of those yellow Showa if it actually develops yellow. If not, then it would just be a Showa, and maybe the yellow will darken up into an orange. Hopefully rare. What else do we see? So here's another bad example of a fish that's got a bad, like slightly deformed head right here. Sadly, that's not good. What else? What else stands out? Nothing much. We got some dirty Showa baby that probably no one's gonna want. What's interesting is that these little fish, because the skull is so thin right now, it's got that tancho looking pattern, but it's really not. I think that's just part of the skull developing, and that's gonna get covered up. So you're seeing almost like the inside of the head of the fish. This one should be a kohaku, even though hopefully it becomes more red, but right now it looks kind of yellow-ish. Size-wise, look at this. We got, those are the big ones, and then look at these tiny little ones. Look at this little baby right here. Tiny little fish. I don't even think it's gonna go anywhere. Look at this thing. Looks like a smaller than a mosquito fish. That looks like an Ochiba though. So I'm gonna isolate the ones I want to keep, and then I'm gonna put them inside this cage. It's actually a pet playpen, but it's cool because it's got a zipper on the top that I can open up. I'm gonna throw this thing inside the pond and just let the fish stay in there so I don't mix them up. But yeah, we gotta select a few of them out. So we're gonna try to go with the ones that we want to keep. I'm gonna put them in here. The ones we don't want, I'm gonna put them out inside the larger container. Actually, I'm gonna put them into the smaller container here, just for fun. Okay, so here's the smaller container. All right, let's see. We got a fish in here, a stray fish. Let's see if I can catch this fish. I'm gonna try to practice and see if I can select the right fish too. It's not that easy. Okay, so let's go with the obvious bad fish that we don't want. This one right here, this big yellow one. It's kind of got a deformed head. So I'm gonna put this aside in there. What else we got? Oh yeah, this fish right here. This fish is bad. Yeah, this one's no good. Thinking. This one's kind of dirty. I don't think this fish is gonna go anywhere. Here we go. It's got random, yeah, random black spots. I don't know. You know, let's just put this one aside. I'm gonna take the small baby one out too, because I don't think by now, if it's that small, I don't know. Probably gonna stay small. Okay, so we got chawoy, ginrin stuff, ginrin chawoy, some benigoy. Got a two-step kohaku. Oh, this one's got a bent tail right here. So this kohaku looking fish, it's got a bent tail, and we're not gonna want that right here. So the tail's bent. Yeah, that's no good. Put it back in there. What else we're seeing here? This is an interesting type. I don't know what this is gonna look like. It looks like it's just gonna become a white fish with ginrin. The head's got a little bit of a yellow. Oh, here's another fish with a bent tail. We're gonna take this one out. Little yellow fish, yellow white, or maybe a kohaku. I don't know. Take that one out. Ah, shoot, the sun's coming up. Okay, let's see what else that we're seeing. We're probably not gonna be able to keep them here for too long because it's gonna get hot. So we're gonna look for some ones with the bad tails or bad body formation, then take them out. This little Showa ginrin thing is running around. Okay, let's see. You know, this one, we saw this one earlier. I don't think this one is a perfectly healthy fish though. Doesn't it look healthy? It's interesting looking, but the head doesn't look super healthy. Well, you know what? Let's just keep it around, see. There's another fish hiding down here. Okay. Okay, whatever. Just let it stay down there. All right, so this one I'm gonna throw it inside the cage. But before I throw them in, I'm gonna wash them first with some purple powder, just to clear and clean them. This will be fun to see how they do. And this is just a very small sample. Like, I just netted a few times. There's so many more, I think, inside that pool that I gotta take out. But this is what I got so far. You know what? I think this one's bad right here. The head doesn't look right. This one. This yellow one right here. Here we go. See this? This one? The head doesn't look right. Alright. Goes in there. Yeah, I think this one doesn't. I'm going back and forth on this one just because it's got a weird pattern, but I kind of like it, but it doesn't look right. I don't know if it's worth growing because we're gonna have so many. I'm gonna put this aside for now. Okay. All right, so there's quite a bit of. Oh shoot, it jumped. No wonder why it came out. Okay. All right, I'm gonna clean these up and then put them in the cage. Here's a closer look at the fish though.